O próximo vídeo que vamos assistir é Brasil Chernobyl. Se você não sabe, Chernobyl é essa parte de Rússia que estava afetada por ai estava infectada. Não sei como falar em português. Vamos ver do que trata esse vídeo, né? Olá, tá mostrando todo o Brasil lá. Indigo Traveler Brasil, que legal, parece legal até agora.
Good morning and welcome back to São Paulo here, biggest city in the Southern Hemisphere. Today we're leaving São Paulo, we're gonna head
É a cidade mais grande do América também, né? Acho que é mais grande que Nova York. É mais grande de toda a parte do sul do mundo, aparentemente esse cara falou. Então tem que ser. Mas também do todo o oeste do América. Não tem. Toronto não é tão grande como São Paulo. Nova York, Los Angeles. Acho que São Paulo é mais grande de todos.
up the coast towards Rio, but we're going to be stopping at like fishing settlements, things like that. But just before we go, I just flew the drone. We went closer to one of the biggest favelas in São Paulo, and we flew the drone over. And I think it's really interesting because you can see these super rich neighborhoods around with swimming pools and really kind of extravagant luxury apartments. And then next door you have the huge sprawl of favelas,
Eu vi São Brasil, como eu falei neste vídeo, 5 coisas que mais gostei e 3 coisas que não gostei. Eu falei um pouco dessa igualdade, como eu estava em Ipanema, mas podia ver, e acho que 5 minutos caminhando até Ipanema. Ipanema, eu acho um dos lugares mais ricos do Sul América. E 5 minutos de Ipanema tem uma favela que é tipo muito pobre. Então tem essa diferença muito grande. Tem diferença aqui nos Estados Unidos, mas não é nada em comparação com o Brasil.
informal housing. We'll get on the road and drive towards the coast. Really beautiful to be in Brazil. You can see the sky, sun is shining.
Saudade de Brasil, gente. Saudade, eu quero voltar. Eu quero muito
We're coming
voltar.
to the airport. We're picking up a rental car. We're heading south
Quero
to
muito.
a city on the coast, like a fishing. I think it's the main port of Brazil, actually. So we're going to see who we can meet there. We're picking up a cute little rental car. My buddy Diego here. So let's
nave
go. We're heading
fofo.
towards Rio today. So we'll see how
Legal.
far we get. We might
Então
start
eles
right
vão
from
para
there, but just going
Santos.
with the
Eu
flow.
estava em Santos, eu fiz um vídeo lá no canal,
cute.
em Praia Grande, mais especificamente. Me dá muita saudades ver isso. Como eu não andava muito por carro. A única vez que andei por carro eu me perdi em uma favela em Rio de Janeiro. E a polícia me parou e queria buscar o carro por drogas. Foi louco, cara. Mas o resto do tempo eu estava sempre no ônibus. Mas vendo essas vistas me dá muitas saudades de Brasil. Eu amo andar por ônibus. Muito legal. É muito legal. Se você quer ver esse vídeo também, eu gravei a polícia buscando minhas coisas. Se quer ver esse vídeo, eu vou colocar lá, tá?
We've been driving from Sao Paulo. We've gone through some big tunnels, and we just
sicka,
pulled
wah, wah.
off because there's this valley here, and it's actually got a nickname, Valley of the Death. In the 1980s, you can see there's huge chemical power plants around here. In the 1980s, this was one of the most polluted cities. on the
Sério?
planet.
Eu não sabia
It's
isso.
known being called Valley of the Death because there were many mentally disabled children being born here. from
Por as
chemical
químicas,
pollution and
infecções.
infections
Nossa
and things.
senhora.
And is this place famous in Brazil, Diego?
It is for the pollution.
Pollution, right.
It is quite famous.
And they spent like $1.2 million apparently on trying to decontaminate, but it's still like thick pollution here, right? Like the soil and the water systems.
Yeah,
But this-
apparently the pollution in the air has improved a lot,
right.
but the soil and the water not as much as needed.
Então o ar está melhor, mas a terra ainda precisa mais tempo, né?
Over 500 people here.
Nossa.
Many young children were included in that number.
Uma
It was
explosão.
The death count was actually much higher than 500 because so many bodies were essentially cremated in the explosion. So this is basically the Latin American Chernobyl, and it happened 2 years before Chernobyl happened in Ukraine. Approximately
Nossa,
9,000
eu falei que Chernobyl estava em Rússia, estava na Ucrânia. Desculpa.
people.
Eu deveria saber isso. Minha ex-esposa nasceu em Ucrânia. Na verdade, ele nasceu em Rússia. Morava os primeiros 3 anos da vida dela na Ucrânia. Depois ela foi para Berlim. Mas isso é outra história. Vamos continuar.
Makeshift homes on land that was owned by Petrobras, a company.
Talvez por isso ela é minha ex-esposa, né? Nossa, tô rindo pra não chorar, gente. Ela me deixou sozinho.
Still operating in this area, owned by the government. Gas
Ai.
pipelines operated by Petrobras.
Nossa, ele tá falando
were
de
in
coisas
When
de...
workers opened the wrong pipeline
Muito
on
triste,
February
eu tô
24th,
rindo de-
1984, highly
Desculpa.
combustible propane gas poured into the ditches
Nossa.
of this neighborhood. Soon after midnight, an explosion was sparked. A fireball ripped through this favela. Some homes were literally thrown hundreds of feet into the air. Others were instantly incinerated. The temperature at the heat of the fireball was estimated at 1,800
Holy
degrees
shit.
Fahrenheit. A day later, only 86 bodies had been recovered. None of the
Nossa
remains were children
Senhora.
below the age of 7. Investigators later found that more than 300 children aged 3 to 6 had enrolled in a local school prior to the explosion, and that only 60 were known to be alive. Because entire families were wiped out, there was no one to report the children's death or disappearance. It was believed more than 500 were killed.
Nossa
possibly more. The place
Senhora.
definitely had a strange air to it. You could feel it was quite a dark energy. Explosions have
Nossa.
happened again in more recent times. In 2017, another explosion took place.
Que louco esse lugar.
Huge atmosphere here, and there's this kind of strange old memorial here. And they've got depictions of the indigenous people fighting the Portuguese. And so this statue here, is it considered something positive?
Que
or is it
interessante
trying to
essa
shine a light
história.
on something?
É louco porque ela estava nessa área como perto de lá, mas eu nunca ouvi dessa história. Como é legal viajar, sabe? Porque tem histórias que até onde eu moro, como tem histórias que eu nem sei, sabe? Tem muita história dentro de cada cidade. E em Brasil tem muito, estou aprendendo.
It was the dark times.
It's hard to tell.
Right.
It's
but
hard
that's
to
the
tell.
feeling I get. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if it's
yeah,
like a
it's-
good thing or
It's
not.
quite hard to tell.
Uh-huh. Brazil has heaps of oil.
Oh, it does. But it's hard to extract because it's deep in the ocean
Right.
and far from the shore.
Ah,
Petrobras has a lot of technology for extracting.
eu vi uma série inteira sobre isso, petróleo, como Ilha de Ferro. É uma série muito bom, como eu recomendo para você se você não viu.
Deep water oil. So all this stretch.
Ele tem muito
on the
drama,
east
né?
coast of Brazil, it's full of oil.
Está na Globoplay, acho que tem muita novela lá, mas essa seria legal.
So we've just arrived in Santos, which is actually you can see the port buildings behind me, some big cranes and then some older buildings there. And this is actually the largest port in the whole of Latin America, so
Oh,
it's
nossa.
quite a substantial.
Brasil tem o mais grande de tudo,
The
né?
streets are very
Cidade
interesting.
mais
You can see that
grande,
looks like a
Porto
tram
mais
from
grande.
Lisbon or something, and the buildings are very Portuguese.
Quando brasileiros faz algo, eles faz grande, faz bem. Eles não faz coisas como assim, não. Eles faz coisas.
They refer to two common expressions in Portuguese. The one on the left, tamo frito, means we are in trouble. Tamo cozido means we are drunk, really drunk.
Ah,
Really beautifully.
eu não sabia isso. Tamo frito, cara. Essa eu sabia, mas tamo cocido, eu não sabia. Tamo cocido.
Just the shell of the building.
Eu queria estar cocido agora.
So we come to this vantage point and you can see like how huge the port area is here. There's dockyards over there and then these massive ships. And apparently that's an island over there. This ferry here goes between here, the mainland, and then the island over there. Biggest port in Latin America.
So this is the terminal of orange juice company. Here, Brazil is the largest producer or the largest exporter of orange juice.
Nossa,
These pipelines.
é importador mais grande. O Brasil tem que ser mais grande de tudo, é?
Where does it mainly go?
Vocês não estão bom com o segundo lugar, né? Tem que ganhar.
They grow a lot of orange, right? So they have like a non-trading
Por isso amo o Brasil.
laws that
So there's like orange juice gangs, and then they're like, "This is my turf." And
Eita. Ah, saudades! Saudades! Eu amo esse lugar.
Okay, so it's actually the following morning. Yesterday we went a bit deeper into Santos. Here's a few clips of it so you can see. It's actually got like an extremely bustling beach scene. It was absolutely packed, so I think that's like a lot of local
Extremely
tourists
bustling
going
beach
there. But then
scene.
I didn't film too much more.
Parece que ele é da Austrália.
And we didn't get to this
O
location,
sotaque
which is
deles
Paraty, until after
são
midnight.
bons pra
Driving through, like, crazy thunder and lightning
comentar
storms,
sobre
raining
coisas.
torrentially. This town is really beautiful. It was founded.
Sabe, eu gosto dessa cara, eu vou inscrever para o canal dele. Se você gosta do meu canal, faz o mesmo. Vou colocar curtida e vou colocar biscoito. Não tenho meu telefone para colocar emoji, mas você pode colocar emoji nos meus comentários. Ok, vamos continuar.
In like 1600, so it's super old. Very, very beautiful, very quaint. You can see the cobblestone streets or even rock streets. I just spent the night here, but we're going to go up the coast. We're going to Rio today. It's going to be
Ele vai ver
amazing,
Rio, é
you
so
know, it's a
bom.
lifelong dream to go there, I think, for many people. On the way, we're going to stop into some settlements, try and meet some locals, maybe some fishermen, some people going about their daily lives and find out what it's like to live here. So let's go. Okay, so we've just come down to the kind of fishing area where all the fishing boats are lined up, and we've met a nice gentleman here.
Mas eu levei tombo, aí eu parei de pescar. Entendeu? Mas eu.
He was born and raised in here. He was a fisherman, but he got injured. He
Ah,
fell. He
tadinho.
can't work anymore. So he comes here to hang out.
Does he miss fishing a lot?
Meu amigo, o meu problema é minha coluna. Se eu sarar da coluna,
He misses fishing. He said his problem is his back. If his back was okay, he would go back fishing because it's good for money.
What's the
Ah.
best part about living in Brazil?
Tadinho.
é Paraty. É Paraty, porque a terra é muito boa.
The best of Brazil is
Yeah,
Paraty, he
verdade.
said. This place here. When you take a boat and you go visit the beaches and see the dolphins, the fishermen villages, you fall in love and you end up staying.
And what's the worst part about living in Brazil?
A pior parte é, eu vou te falar, é cidade grande, é o Rio de Janeiro.
The worst of Brazil are the big cities. Rio, life is just easy if you come to a small place
É
like this.
diferente vibe, né? Se você está
That's
dentro
it,
de
you
uma
get
cidade
killed and
grande,
it's just bad.
se você está no
Obrigado.
interior, na
Ok.
costa, são vibes diferentes.
And Manuel, what are you doing today?
Ele está usando música bem legal.
Tô cuidando do barco, né?
That's his boat. He's finished fishing for today,
Okay.
and he's taking care of it. So he
Ah.
doesn't fish. He fishes shrimp.
Shrimp.
Yeah.
And did you catch many shrimp today?
É pouco.
Not so much. We're almost at the end of the
Camarão.
season for shrimp. During the off season, they receive a benefit from the government. It's one minimum wage per month.
E hoje dividiu, né? Tantos barcos.
The quantity of shrimp is still the same. What has changed is the quantity of boats fishing.
Ah, makes sense.
happy and content in Paraty here?
Aí pra mim é o melhor lugar do mundo.
The best place in the world is here. Everything is so easy. Everything is. He has access to everything.
Ah,
There are people from
que bom
everywhere.
que ele está
So
feliz.
he meets people from all around
Sabe,
the
isso,
world.
isso foi algo que me marcou os brasileiros, como são, a maioria são muito gratos, como talvez não tem muito, mas são gratos por o que tem e são felizes, são alegres, são um povo alegre. Eu amo isso.
Road here.
Obrigado.
Olha esse cara,
Obrigado, não, não.
Valeu.
nem tem camisa agora, mas ele tá feliz, ele não precisa de camisa.
The main city because he
Nem
doesn't have
precisa.
power there. That's why him and his family immigrated to the island.
For
I mean,
electricity.
for electricity, yeah.
Beautiful.
So something very interesting about Parachi is it was actually isolated for 100 years. So in the 18th century, the port of Parachi was an important outlet for gold and precious stones brought on horseback from other areas of Brazil to be shipped
Que
to Portugal.
interessante.
However, constant pirate attacks led to abandoning this gold route, resulting in great economic isolation. So lots of the buildings, the culture, and the lifestyle in Parachi was somewhat isolated. So it's got kind of its own thing going on. It's very unique
Ah.
and special. You can see the roads and the colonial buildings are very much quite well maintained. They've got local dances and culture that is very, very unique to this area.
Ah, que legal. Que legal. Eu quero visitar lá a próxima vez. Eu estava lá perto. Eu quero visitar a próxima vez que vou para o Brasil.
Absolutely beautiful.
Back to the
Eu gosto desse cara porque ele não está só visitando o Brasil, fazendo festas, tentando estar como mulher, como muitos turistas fazem. Ele está aprendendo a história de Brasil, e isso é o valor de Brasil, como a história, o que eles são. Então, eu gosto desse cara. E eu tô aprendendo muitas coisas que eu não sabia antes.
beautiful car, the quid. So we've just pulled off the side of the highway on the way to Rio. Here. We've stopped in
camarões.
this beautiful little bay area, like a quaint little kind of fishing village. So we're gonna meet some of the fishermen. So Carlos, what time did you start?
Yesterday, 6 p.m.
All night fishing.
So he fishes shrimp as well, and he's selling over there. That's what they're doing over there.
Right. Good catch.
250 kilos, so it was a good catch. He lives near Rio, the city,
Okay.
and he travels here to fish here. Usually he doesn't fish on weekends. During the weekends they do barbecue with the family, they rest, they go to
Churrasco, saudades, eu tenho esse
He
casado.
fishes since he was 7, and now he's 44. He says he lives
Oh, wow.
in the sea, and he takes
Toda a
vacation
vida
and,
inteira.
Okay. Obrigado.
Olha essa gringa falando obrigado. Dá ali pão de queijo.
Serge, is this your boat here?
That's his boat over there, the blue and white one. He has had boats in multiple places.
So you travel all around Brazil.
Pescando e como caminhoneiro também.
Before he was a truck driver, so he has traveled the entire Brazil as a truck driver and now as a fisherman.
What's better, fishing or truck driving?
Pô, eu gosto dos dois. Mas ultimamente
He likes both, but lately the truck driving is not giving him much money, so he prefers the fishing right now.
If you could say one thing to the world about Brazil, what would that be?
eu digo que o país em si é maravilhoso, mano.
It's a wonderful country. it's a
É
wonderful
verdade.
land.
Que legal essa
People
cara.
are wonderful and not that nice, especially the politicians.
Obrigado.
O brasileiro que eu conheço, amo o país, mas vocês são humildes porque vocês não fingem que as coisas ruins não existem. Você aceita o bom com o mal, né? Eu gosto disso. São alegres, mas humildes. Nossa, saudades do Brasil, como é muito verde. Eu amo as paisagens. Eu amo viajar dentro do Brasil. Eu tenho muita saudade, gente. Eu gosto da música que ele escolheu. Rio de Janeiro. Em que praia ele estará?
So we finally made it to
Copacabana
Rio.
mesmo.
Here we are in Copacabana Beach.
Eu estava lá, eu ficava lá muito perto.
See my entire life. Several hours later.
Cuidado com essa telefone, cara, com essa
we
câmera,
tried
né?
to finish it on the Jesus Christ statue up near Sugarloaf Mountain, which is over there. But we got there like 3 minutes after they closed the tram up to the top. So came here, it's not too bad finishing the day here. Amazing driving from São Paulo to Rio, the two biggest cities in Brazil, meeting people along the way, seeing the different aspects. You know, we saw nice parts of the country and then also the kind of more rugged parts like the power plants there and the chemical plants. I hope you enjoyed that video. In the next video we're going to be going into the favelas, actually, the famous Rio favelas, which is like I think the biggest in Latin America, one of the biggest in Latin America. And I was in Petare in Caracas, Venezuela. That's also one of the biggest, but this is another bigger one, and this is probably the world famous favela. So it's going to be intense, but I hope you'll join me for that. And
vamos
this
assistir,
country
gente,
is
vamos
insane.
assistir.
Driving into Rio, very like rugged on the outskirts, and then the closer you get to the insides, it's really nice.
Tipo, Ipanema Copacabana, Ipanema é muito rico. Se ele mostrava a câmera outra direção e ia mais lá, essa direção por 1 quilômetro, aí pode ver uma favela lá em cima. E a diferença é louco.
Things. So here we are, unbelievable.
Tipo, ali, lá em cima, como atrás disso tem uma favela, tem uma favela. Ele ficava lá ao final dessa praia. Como Copacabana, depois Ipanema, e dentro um pouquinho eu estava lá. Eu fiquei em um quarto da casa de um cara, foi muito legal. Eu gravei tudo isso.
You know, it's one of those places you
Tem
always
tudo
think
lá no
of,
canal.
And, you know, one day you'll get there. And that moment's happening right now. It's really quite beautiful. So I'm absolutely loving Brazil so far. I'm falling in love with it. It's only been, you know, a little while, but
O gringo tá apaixonado pro Brasil. É impossível, não. Cada gringo que vai lá se apaixona. Cada pessoa que vai para o Brasil, eu não conheço nenhuma pessoa. Até meu primo que nunca foi para o Brasil ainda. Um primo está lá com o namorado. Outro primo está aqui, nunca foi para o Brasil. Ele ama o Brasil. Ele está praticando português todos os dias. Só fala com brasileiros. Como o calor humano de Brasil é infectante, gente. Chega para o coração de todo mundo.
guys, thank you so much for watching. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night from Copacabana Beach. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Antártica, que bom. Tava tomando uma cerveja Antártica. Gostei. Gostei muito do vídeo, gente. Se você gostou, vai inscrever para o canal dele. Vou colocar o link do vídeo original na descrição. E se você gostou da minha reação, inscreva-se no canal, por favor. E também curte, coloca os biscoitos nos comentários. Vamos abrir uma loja, a Gringo Jacinho Store. Vai estar no Instagram. Ok, gente, amo vocês. Obrigado por assistir. Somos família Hancock. Tchau!